was unbelievable. He's carried that through here, and the car's working, tremendously well. So, a great performance. We were debating, do we do the second lap in quali? We decided to go out and cover all eventualities, but and that's why we aborted as soon as we could see that nobody looked likely to beat his time.
Well, he was almost half a second clear of Sainz there, and as you say, he aborted that second lap, which looked even quicker. Coming into today, we kind of had the feeling that this would have been the closest it's going to get, because you guys seem to have a car that on race day comes even more alive than it is on quali day. So is there any competition tomorrow for Max?
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, there's the weather, there's reliability, there's the start, there's strategy, there's so many things, how these tires are going to behave with these fast two final corners. But last weekend we felt didn't play to the strengths of the car. This weekend we feel does play to the strengths of the car. So and he's made great use of that.
Christian, let's talk about Sergio, who's still wanting to, of course, fight for that championship, and he can't have days like this if he wants to fight for the championship. What do you put that down to, his problems that he's had?
He just had a difficult qualifying, and I think he went off, and then the tires cooled down, and trying to get that tire temperature. He was lucky to get through Q1 into Q2 as the circuit was evolving, and then unfortunately the off that he had in Q2, I think it just unsettled him a little, and unfortunately it was one of those days for him. So P10 or P11 for him tomorrow leaves him quite a bit to do. But
he was off the pace the whole way through the qualifying, from the get-go. He was always massively struggling and just about getting through even from into Q2. Do you think maybe there was a thing out there that some random people were struggling with also with tire temperatures? We saw Leclerc, we saw Russell.
I think the tires are a crucial factor. I mean, we checked all the aero loads after Q1, so the support that we had back in the factory, they were able to look at the analysis between the two cars. Are the cars generating the same amount of downforce? And they were like for like, so we couldn't see any part misbehaving. So obviously we'll do a big inspection this evening, but I think it was just about getting the tires in the window, because we know Checo's not that far off. It's just that he didn't get the car working today.
Well, he qualified out of position in Monaco. He's qualified out of position here today. This track should give him a little bit more opportunity to overtake than the likes of Monaco, but still, this is a track that traditionally hasn't always been that easy for overtaking. Have those changes to the track potentially opened up opportunity for him to have an easier time tomorrow coming through the field?
I think they will. It'll generate a different race, because basically it's gone old school again, and basically the hammering you give the front left round here now it's all right-hand corners and high-speed corners, and I think it's going to be fascinating strategy-wise to see who picks what strategy, who picks what tires for the start of the Grand Prix. And I think that's what will come into play tomorrow. Is it all going to be about tire deg, unless of course it's raining.
And Monaco was a big dent really on Perez's confidence. What do you do as his boss now to sort of reset before tomorrow, because it's not going to be easy?
I think it's a matter of just picking him up and making sure that he goes into the race. I mean, the points scored on Sunday, it's obviously harder for him starting from that grid position, but he can still have a great race from there. We know he's a great racer, and he's just got to get his head down, and hopefully we can come up with a good strategy and make some good progress.
I did notice when Naomi asked you about Max's competition, you didn't actually name any other teams. You said strategy, weather,
well, I think they're the biggest, under normal circumstances, they're the biggest factors, that prevent him winning this Grand Prix. And so we just got to make sure we're on top of our game tomorrow, and on top of the weather, the strategy, the tires, all the variables that can go wrong. But great for him, his first pole here, our first pole since I think 2011 with Mark Webber.
And slightly surprised by Sainz and Norris being the ones behind him?
Yes, Norris obviously made a big jump. Gasly as well up there. We thought Lewis looked after Q2 to be the closest threat, but it didn't materialize.
Okay, thank you very much.